No weightlifting, none of that. I used to lift weights when my younger days.
I do enough. You good? I'm gonna try to keep this general for you, so you ain't gotta worry about it. I work for the railroad. I got a real physical job, and by the time I have a 10-hour day on my knees or on metal, whatever situation, I ain't trying to go to no gym.
That makes sense. You working out at work. That's how my uncle, he works at, you know what, I'm lying. He don't work anywhere. I know he does the union, and he's an electrician, but he is ripped. And I picked up his bag one day. I was like, no shit.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Those tools you have to carry around, they are heavy.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, though. I mean, I think if you stay active, and even if, like, I still come home and do projects, yard projects. I'm always doing.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Yeah.
That's how I stay active, honestly, is what I do at home.
Yeah.
I'm a homeowner, so I just do everything. And everything in my house is rigged because it's an older house, so I have to, like, fix stuff, do this. Then I have the dogs, and that's fun. Yeah,
they're always fun. My first home I bought, I had 25 dogs.
25? What kind?
Fucking shit. Pit bulls.
Oh.
I mean, I enjoy them, but it was
I
like...
thought you was about to say Shih Tzu.
No, gosh, I wish.
That's what I got.
The size, oh my gosh, they took up so much room.
Oh, man.
No, it was like, I'll say 25. It was 2 litters back to back, plus the 2 females I was taking in the male. And I was trying my best to keep this from happening, and it don't ever work like that. And yeah, we talking about dogs. I felt like 101 Dalmatians. I wanted them things gone.
I understand. Last year, I want to say November, December, I had 21 dogs.
Dang.
Yes, it was horrible, but it was fun at the same time because I had 4 litters back to back.
Oh, man.
We call Milo, we call him a skinwalker because that boy been here before, but Milo ran through all my girls. And I'm like, I don't even want you having babies. And back to back to back, one girl had 6 kids, one had 5, and I was like, you normally have 3. What you popping 5 out for? It was stressful. Mopping 3 times a day, hollering, yelling, and yelping, but they were so cute. I got them all rehomed, so.
Do the whole pool thing, like trying to keep it contained?
I got the pool thing. I found this little litter crate thing on Amazon, which you like slide the pieces in, and they're plastic, like 24 by 24 inches. I had like a little nursery set up because each one needed their own whelping pen, and 1 dropped September, 2 dropped October, 1 dropped in the beginning of December. Oh, back to back to back to back. I
was busy.
Man, what?
Busy.
Oh my goodness. It was just crazy, but they were just so cute. I love it. I do it for the love.
Now today's guest is none other than Just Tax for Justice is the song playing right now. I got it playing for you. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just checked my streaming numbers. I was like, oh yeah, y'all better play this.
Yeah. I got to think about it. I was like, man, this is a commercial. That's pretty good. And I looked down at the time. I was like, oh, it's a song.
Yes, sir.
I said, damn, she got some real tunes online.
Yes, I wrote it.
That's cool. And you wrote the song too?
I did.
That's cool.
All my songs I wrote.
So how is it, so now, okay, knowing that, how much of this brand and not just the taxes, how much is it all just your idea, everything from scratch?
Correct.
And I know that if you haven't watched, if you want to hear more, I would say more legal term of a conversation, you're probably going to go watch More Than a Masters with this one, all right?
Definitely.
But I'm going to try to have fun with you, and I think that you said 14 years you've been in doing it, right?
Yes.
14, 15? And that in itself is its own accolades, which I'm going to give you some claps. I got to make sure I'm at one right here. His name Mangs. But no, I think that it is very interesting that taxes is something that a lot of people don't know about.
Yes.
I think that I'm grateful that I got to get introduced to Miss Penny through you and be able to have you on, knowing Maine and the connection and relationship. I've heard a lot of things about you, and I'm grateful to have you on today. But I am curious from my perspective talking to you today about more of a personal and business.
Oh, that's fine.
Because I know that relationships, some people don't necessarily agree in marriage, and I think that understanding the difference between how you do your taxes and prepare yourself with those 2 entities separate.
Yes.
So that's kind of, if that's okay with you.
More than fine.
All right. I want to ask, first thing is what would you say are some ways to plan ahead when you're, this is my 2nd year of business.
Okay.
All I know is I got to file my taxes.
Okay.
What are some ways I need to plan ahead to make sure I'm preparing for any outcome at the end of the year?
So when it comes to business ownership, are you the sole owner?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So I'm assuming sole proprietorship.
Yep.
All right. So the
Well, I got to
first,
change it, but yeah.
so as a sole proprietorship, the way the business structure is set up, you're based off of your personal tax rate. So you really want to make sure you maximize your deductions throughout the year. So when we're talking preparing for tax season, are we saying January preparing because there's work that should have been done the year before? Are we talking preparing now for next tax season? So as a sole proprietorship, you've got to be intentional on how you spend your money. There are so many deductions out there. All you have to do is spend it properly. If you're going to go to an event that may help you in your business, you're able to write it off if it's like an eligible event. Like, for example, you're in podcasting. There's a podcast summit coming up in July.
Yeah.
Go. It's a deduction.
That is.
Yes.
Now, while you're saying that, I want to ask too real quick and pitch in is I've heard that if I go and do an episode somewhere out of town, I can claim that whole weekend.
Yeah, you're doing it for business purposes.
So just one day or something like that, or
the travel,
just the travel has
the
to
cost.
be one.
If all of it was meant for business, it's all deductible. You want to
Okay.
keep up with everything. The travel, the cost, the meals, they need to be reasonable. Maybe like a $50 allowance. You don't want to do anything too much because it has to make sense. When you're a sole proprietorship, everything is on the line in regards to you. So you have to take into account how you're spending the money so that you can get the best benefit. If you're working for a company, they will foot the bill. But since you're single, it's all on you, down to the expenses it takes for you to do the job, the advertising. If you have to purchase certain clothing items that you're only doing for that job, that's deductible. You just have to show that it's normal and necessary.
So, all right. So I understand this. I could use brand support
Yes.
as deductions, out of town travel for events and services for the podcast. Now, my next one I got on here is just curiosity here. What about what is the legal way to do a car? Because I know that there are a lot of entrepreneurs and creators that do travel, and I think that's the most beneficial thing that would be helpful to most.
So when it comes to the car, we're talking, are you looking to purchase it for business purposes? Then it has to be used for business purposes. If you're talking about using your personal car for travel, you have either the mileage deduction or the actual expenses, one or the other.
Okay, so you can, if you had a car, you could still claim it underneath the business.
Correct. It just has to be one or the other. So they're not going to give you the mileage deduction if you use actual expenses and vice versa. When it comes to actual expenses, that would be your insurance, your car payment, the gas, the maintenance, but only a portion of it is deductible if you're using that car for business use. So how do you determine the business use? Your mileage. If you have 100,000 miles driven in a year and 80,000 was for business, 80% of those expenses are deductible because of the business use. Now, when you're doing a standard mileage rate, that is a set rate set by the feds. It increases up. I haven't seen it really go down, but it goes up each year by a little bit, maybe like 63, 64 cents a mile. Sometimes that's the better deduction. Some people have a car outright and don't have a lot of expenses, so they just take the mileage deduction.
Yeah.
But one or the other when it comes to your personal vehicle. Now, if we're talking about purchasing a vehicle for your business, that is a route you can take as well. There's something called depreciation. Let's say your car is $20,000 that you purchased just for business use. With straight line, let's say the useful life means how long is that asset going to be in place. With straight line, let's say it's 5 years. So you get to take $5,000 off of your taxable income for the next 5 years for that vehicle you purchased just for the business.
Dang.
And it doesn't just stop at vehicles. That goes with real estate, computers. All of these assets have a useful life. Make sure you're depreciating.
So, okay, so a good way that is just the right way, it's a smart way. Good way I track is having a personal credit card dedicated to the podcast.
I like that.
I do my best because I even feel iffy sometimes, like when I go out of town and I'm going to hoard myself at whatever spot I'm drinking at or whatever. Mm-hmm. I don't try to put that on that card, but I've never even considered doing the whole travel. But I think that is to me, I feel like that's the best way to go is having just a card set for myself.
I agree.
Statements, right?
Yes, I am pro debt, and I know that sounds crazy, but let me explain it. You're using that card. Let's say you carry a balance and you get interest. That interest is deductible if that card is used strictly for business, because now you're paying interest on business expenses. Then you have your capital still sitting because you didn't pay the card off. So you get that continuous deduction for the interest, pay the card off whenever you feel like it, but you still have your liquid cash available for expansion or whatever. Now let's just say you use the cash to pay it all off, then it's just a wash, which means it just is the same.
Yeah.
So no interest deduction, no rewards points, none of that. I am pro debt long as you're responsible with it. I don't push it a lot because a lot of people aren't responsible. It is. You have to be very disciplined.
It's so hard.
But there's benefits to it. And it's really good that you're separating it. You definitely need to separate your business transactions on whatever device you're using it on. And then what I mean by that is like cards or stuff. So you want to have a business checking, business credit, and use it just for that. Even if it doesn't say it's exactly a business card, you can still use your personal account for business purposes. Just let only business happen in there.
Yeah.
And next year get the business account. Because at some point you got to grow.
Yeah.
Like they'll work with you in the beginning stages of your business, but at some point you have to grow.
All right. Serious question. How long do I got before I got to call it quits on that business if I don't make no money?
It's hard to say. So the idea is that they want you to make a profit within 3 years. But who are you to tell me how to run my business? Amazon didn't make a profit for 15 years. And look at them now. So it has to make sense. If you're in business and you're not making a profit and you're continuously not making a profit, then you want to look at your operations. The question that IRS is going to ask is, what are you doing? What are you in business for? Because if you're not making a profit, then it's a hobby. And if it's a hobby, you can only deduct as much as you earn. If it's a business, you can deduct more than you earn, which of course helps people.
Yeah.
So the question is it a hobby or is it a business? The definition of a business is you're doing it to earn money. So it's hard to give it a number. Most people say 3 years, some say 5 years, but I always use the example, Amazon did not turn a profit for over a decade.
Yeah, well, I also I don't really know if I plan to like charge and make money. I think I can make money on the production side of this business, which I have made some, but I can't say I've equaled out my spending. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I do. Is there a consideration of sense of charity stuff? Because I know that like podcasters and other entertainment stuff, they do a lot of charity stuff around Augusta. Being a part of those things where I guess your name and business is whatever, you get those deductions. That's a benefit, yes?
To an extent. It depends on who you're partnering with if it's a benefit. So, for example, if a podcaster is doing something for a nonprofit agency and there's a price tag to the service, the nonprofit should give them a piece of paperwork to prove that they're 501c status and that I'm eligible to take this deduction.
I don't know what you said, but I think I need to write that down.
Yes, sir.
What'd you say?
501c3 status. That is a status. Basically, nonprofits have to go through a process of being approved to be a nonprofit. So having that, now your contribution is a tax deduction. If you don't have that proof, ideally you just did it for the fun of it. It's not a deduction. You have the choice to take it with your business as a deduction or as a personal deduction. Have you ever heard of itemizing your expenses?
Yeah,
or a Schedule A?
Yeah.
Right. That'll be a deduction on a Schedule A. Okay. Charitable contributions, tithes, and offering. So circling back to the podcasters, if you're doing things for entities on a non-profit basis, like you're not doing it for a profit, you have to have a conversation to figure out what entity they are. Are they a for-profit business or are they a non-profit business? Because that details what paperwork you should be receiving. What I'm seeing around Augusta, I don't want to pop no bubbles, there ain't a lot of paperwork moving. There's a lot of folks saying they've got nonprofits and they are not nonprofits. Just because you say it does not mean you went through the steps to set it up. And I apologize for anybody that is. I'm not trying to be that person, but this is the truth. The paperwork matters.
Nonprofit make money. I promise you that.
Right, but the paperwork matters.
Yeah.
It got to balance out because if an audit comes and that nonprofit is invalid, that deduction is invalid.
Yeah.
You just did the work for free.
Dang.
So the paperwork matters, definitely.
All right, so I'm gonna ask this. I'm clarifying in my mind what we talked about. I go downtown, I do games and give away cash.
Nice.
I can't claim that.
You can.
I can't.
Why are you doing it?
It's just like a charity. It's like it's a fun interaction where I get to give.
How about let's flip that and you're doing it for marketing?
Well, yeah, it's marketing.
All right then.
But okay,
then you
so
can take
I
it.
Change it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It's all about how you position it. All accounting is making the money talk.
You making me you learn. I'm trying to learn from you now.
Are you?
Yeah,
All right,
because I
then.
be because I think about it. I have I don't mind supporting. I don't
Right.
mind investing in like the relationships I'm building throughout Augusta and who I've come across with the podcast and comedy. But to all of us entertainers, to even just business women, men out there, it's hard traveling. Gas is high. You know,
Yes.
you want to make sure that if you are, I'm looking at the conversation of I'm a new business owner. At least I want to make this profitable on the production side. If I
Correct.
can give back and do things in a charitable way on this side where it's not a transaction more than it is the learning and process with it, yeah, I'd love to like make sure I'm dotting my T's with documentation. You know what I
But
mean?
yes, because ultimately, the folks who are making the 6 figures, 10 figures, they're not doing it just for giggles and fun. They're getting a write off.
Yeah, they getting write-offs.
I mean, just saying.
And I know that I can't say what company I work for, but I work for the railroad. I work for a nonprofit, and I mean, we know the railroad makes money,
Yes,
and so I mean, they can be nonprofits and be billionaires.
they can.
It's so crazy.
And the board of directors, they set up their salary and they go from there. Ultimately, the nonprofit just has to have a mission and a statement on what their purpose is, why they're doing it. But ultimately, there are also administrative costs and salaries that go with that mission statement. So a nonprofit can easily earn someone $1 million, but it's really based off the job they're doing for that nonprofit.
So that's going to be the distinguisher between it being personal and a nonprofit.
Yes.
All right. All right. Now, we've talked about record keeping. Okay, I got a crazy question. Why in the hell can't I claim food and gas for feeding these damn kids?
Because you get a little credit for claiming the kids.
But that's not $2,000. I don't know what I get, but
Yeah, $2,000 for the child
Yeah.
tax credit. You may get a little if you pay for daycare, and if you're on the lower income side, you could get earned income credit. That's about the gist of it. Because you don't get a deduction for feeding yourself, so why would you get it for feeding your kids?
well, I think that it's just crazy we can get all these little minor things for cell phones, and I just was curious if I guess that's just the tax credit then. The food and gas, crazy, $2,000.
That's it. They feel that $2,000 is what they'll pay you for helping keeping the population of America up. Like the way I look at taxes, I have accepted my role as a U.S. citizen. I have to pay my dues. As a citizen of Georgia, I have to pay my dues, and as a citizen of Augusta, I got to pay my dues. Whatever you say the number is, I'm gonna pay it. But if I got a way to lower it, I'm gonna lower it. But ultimately, I got to pay my dues. Along with paying my dues, there are certain things these entities want us to do. Georgia wants to expand in the film industry, in the entertainment industry. You're actually in a great industry, but they want to expand. So guess what? There are state tax credits for being in film. You get a credit for. Have you ever seen a video or a show and it had that little snippet in the beginning where it was like Georgia, the little Georgia symbol? And,
Oh, the peach?
yeah,
Yeah.
just that little snippet of it.
Yeah.
That right there, that's a tax credit
Oh, snap.
because it was produced in Georgia.
So you get that claim. That's what's up. That's what's up.
PBS, all of them. So it's like certain states, they have certain things they want to push.
Yeah.
And that's just one thing. I just highlight that because you're in entertainment. But Georgia has things for low income, building, infrastructure, et cetera. If you do what they want you to do, they're going to give you a credit. Same with the feds. They want you to make kids. They want you to invest. They want you to go to school. You get a credit for that. Do what they want you to do if you want a refund from them.
What about medical? Do parents get any kind of like help with like medical expenses for dependents? Is that something? I don't know a lot. I'm asking dumb questions.
It's not dumb at all. I mean, in a sense, yes. So circling back to that Schedule A, the itemized deductions, you can take a deduction for medical expenses that exceed 7.5% of your AGI. And I know that sounds crazy. I'm going to break it down. Your AGI is your adjusted gross income. It's what they decide your income is after they add it all up and subtract a few things. That's your adjusted gross income. So then you take that number, multiply it by 7.5. Then you have that number. Now, any medical expenses over that, you can write off on your Schedule A. It's not as beneficial for everybody because everybody can't itemize. So the feds give you a standard deduction for your filing status that you qualify for automatically most times. In order for itemizing to make sense, it got to be more than that standard. So as a single person, let's say the standard deduction is $15,000. the combination of your state taxes paid, medical expenses over 7.5%, mortgage interest, charitable deductions, etc. All of that has to be over $15,000 just for it to make sense. If it's not,
it ain't worth it.
Correct.
Dang. So y'all really be playing chess.
Honestly. And I mean, the tax code, I feel like it's made that way on purpose. They don't want normal people to know how to, I won't even say cheat it, just how to navigate it. They don't want that because who benefits?
But we know how to cheat it. I mean, I done heard some stories.
Oh, yeah. I know it all. I don't do it, but I know it all.
Is this true?
Go ahead.
I got $1,000, sir. Let me get that Social Security number and claim me for mine this year.
It's possible.
I think I could.
And you may slide through the cracks. But you say $1,000?
I heard. This is not.
I'm just saying. Why 1,000?
I just am using a distorted number and stuff from the stories I've heard, right? But I know that the old guys would say this all the time, and they talk about it like, man, y'all don't know how much we used to get back in the day.
Oh yeah, it was roguish back in the day.
Yeah.
But I mean, you remember when they did the sweep back in the day too, right?
No, I don't. I did
Really?
pay my taxes for like 4 or 5 years.
Oh,
I just got caught up, and I'm like, I won't do it again.
gotcha.
I won't do it again.
When the rogue behavior happens, the IRS, they won't come at you immediately unless it's like blatantly like you really tried it. But after about 3 years, close to when that filing window closes, they might start looking. That's why you're seeing a lot of folks getting caught up in the PPP and EIDL stuff.
Oh, yeah.
That SBA just referred them. That was 2020 and 2021.
Yeah.
Which
Now stimulus
I
check.
said was going to happen, but they just referred them. All these folks thought they got off free. Now they're going to start looking into stuff, and I sometimes feel like they do it on purpose because your debt gains interest the longer you owe. So if you owe the IRS, it's earning interest.
Yeah, that part sucks.
So when they go back and change what happened in 2021, they're going to add a penalty. They're going to add multiple penalties, and then they're going to charge interest all the way up to where you're owing them thousands of dollars for money you don't even have right now.
Yeah, you 50% added on. Dang.
Yeah.
I'm glad I didn't do no PPP.
I am too. I did
glad.
not. I didn't even consider it. When I read it, I was like, this is not going to end well. And then I saw a few people did it, and I'm like, good for you. And I saw more people do it, and I'm like, when are they going to get caught? And then I just,
let it go.
I wasn't hating, but
Yeah.
it looked fun. Like when everybody was wilding out during the pandemic, I had to work.
I saw a lot of cars.
I had cars, matching emoji outfits, all kind of stuff. They were really having a ball. And I was at work.
I watched
Wearing a
one on
mask.
social media recently where it was a coach, and he set up a whole school and had the football players sign it, and they all signed PPP loans.
I seen that.
It was a wild.
It was crazy. I mean, folks from up north was coming down here running circles on people in the south because they say we're behind down here.
Oh, we are.
So them folks from like Philly and New York, they just came down here running circles, and these are things I know. I'm hip to what's going on in the streets. Just because I'm not doing anything don't mean I don't know what's going on. I've seen it. I've had conversations with people who were doing it, and all I did was just warn them.
Yeah.
Be careful. Oh, you did that in your name? Be careful. Your account? Be careful. You paid somebody $3,000? Be careful. Like, it's just, that's all I can say, because, whew.
I can't trust it. I always have to have someone to do mine. What would you say to someone walking in for the first time working with you on their taxes?
Current year, or are they trying to get caught up? Because there's so many scenarios.
You can give me both. I just want you to try to give you a professional approach to it,
Most professional approach. Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, I wanted to make sure we touched on some of the interactions of how it is being a business owner and talking this over with your clients.
Yes. So I normally start with, hey, how you doing? Do you have your tax forms? They'll give me what they have. I'll look. I'll read. All right, you worked at McDonald's, Burger King, Sitel. Did you work anywhere else? Because sometimes you have to be consultative. Some people don't think until you ask. Did you work somewhere else? Oh, I worked at Ross. Where's that W-2? I don't know. Were you able to get your pay stub online? Yeah. Let's log into that account, see if your W-2's there. More than likely it's there.
Yeah.
So it's like I have to go through all those steps.
A lot of coaching.
Correct. So you have to have a lot of patience and a lot of time. But once we start with gathering all the forms, I'll start submitting it in a program. I'll talk to them like, hey, how's your day going? What are your tax plans? Are you looking to like purchase any real, like most of the time when we're sitting there, the conversation comes and I'm able to hear context clues. Maybe we're doing a return and they'll say, oh yeah, I got my aunt at home in the care, long-term care bed. Say she, got a bad hip or something. I take care of my aunt. You didn't tell me that. What, your aunt, does she work? You take care of her 24/7? She lives with you? You may be able to claim her. Let's ask a few more questions. And now, exactly, you may be head of household just from that consultative approach. So I make sure we have all the forms. I'll talk to them. If we have enough time, I'll even have them pull their transcripts, or I'll pull them. The transcripts is just something in the IRS site that everything you have form-based, they have a copy. So when I ask for the transcripts, I just want to validate we got everything, because sometimes people forget. And by the end of the service, you either owe or you don't. And then we go from there. Here are my fees. Do you want the fees taken out to refund, or you want an invoice? I do still give that option. Very dumb, because I have a lot of unpaid invoices, but it is what it is. So I'll say, hey, you want to come out your refund, or you want an invoice? Once we establish those fees, we move forward, and that's it. Once they sign it, I'll send it off. If it accepts, I'll say, hey, allow 21 days for the IRS to process, allow 12 weeks for Georgia. Sometimes Georgia processes quicker, but I give them the worst case scenario.
It's always late.
Yep. And then I'll throw a, hey, by the way, you're working here. How's your benefits plan is looking? Or, do you have any benefits? You getting 401k? What type of health insurance you got? I ask those questions because that's a piece of tax planning. I do that for free now, but in the profession, folks charge for that. And what tax planning is conversation we have now to help you make decisions later. So if you tell me you started a new job and you don't even know what benefits to sign up for, I'll say, hey, let's start with a 401k. Do pre-tax. Put 4% in, 5%. Does your company match? These are things to look at. All right, let's look at the health insurance.
Hey, can I stop you there and ask for you to clarify the pre-tax and after-tax? Because I know when I started my 401k, it's so confusing.
Oh, man. So many people are confused with 401k. It's fine. So pre-tax means the money you put in there is pre-tax, or deferred compensation. Post-tax is what it means, post-tax dollars. So if you have a pre-tax contribution, it's going in there before any taxes hit. But when you take from it, you got to pay those taxes. If you put it in post-tax, it's coming after all your taxes and pre-tax deductions. And if you have to take from it, you only have to get the penalty if you take it early. But like when retirement comes, you already paid the taxes. So that's the definition of the pre-tax and the post-tax. Then you have the 401k combination, or the investments. 401k is like a group of stocks that this company decided was beneficial. That's why people's 401k go up and down. So picture 100 Fortune 500 companies, their stocks in this one little fund. What you put in, you're literally buying stocks. It's just they decided what group of stocks it is. So that's why your 401k goes up and down.
Now, when it comes to my 401k, I'm allowed to take loans out. I know it's not smart, but...
No, I'm team loans too. It's your money.
Yeah, when it comes to loans, if does that is tax deductible? I'm getting tongue-tied. Is that tax deductible with the interest or anything? None of that?
No, not at all. So if you have to pull from your 401k, I always say do a loan first. For one, the entity is going to charge interest on it, but it goes back to your account. Yeah. So that's your money. And then for two, it's not a taxable event. The taxable event will be doing a withdrawal.
Yeah, and it sucks.
Correct. Oh, because there's a 10% penalty, but it also increases your income tax rate. Yep. So most people think it's just 10%. No, that's the penalty. This is now ordinary income adding on top of your income, which is going to increase your tax rate.
Mm-hmm. That's what got me with my taxes with the IRS.
Yep.
I had way more, and I thought that, I'm paying $1,000 in taxes at the beginning with my withdrawal. I'm good.
Nope. It increased your tax rate because it's ordinary income. And now you may not even qualify for credits you could have qualified for because you got that money.
How was now? I'm gonna speak from my experience. I went, I think 3 or 4 years. I want to say almost 4 years behind. I think I caught up the 4th year. Okay. They never contacted me. I just got caught, and like you know how some women are. They're like, you're gonna get this shit straight, So you talked about kind of all the interest and everything, and that like belittled, like it tore me apart trying to pay this. It was crazy. I think I only had to pay like under $2,000 each time I owed, but then by the time I was paying back, I paid right at $10,000 for 3 years. And then they lost the check. There's no lie. They lost the check. It was like $2,500. And I had to go a year of disputing it. And I finally had to just pay it again.
Oh my goodness. What year was that?
I don't remember.
Was this post-COVID?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Because they had such a backlog.
There was
so much got lost, and I heard a rumor that they just start shredding stuff.
Yo, I'm telling you, I had to go through, I think, 4 different departments. I had to talk to like 7, 8 different people regularly, trying to go. I had to go to Navy Fed to get proof it came out of my account. It was all sorts of hassle. But,
so they actually cashed the check.
Yeah, it was.
But didn't apply it to your tax account.
Yeah, so I'd sent 2 checks. One of them was to finalize everything, and one of them was more like the penalized from the other year, right? So it was just 2 checks get sent in. Both of them got cashed same day. Both of them are from the ACH of IRS or whatever it is, and both of them are cashed, but only one gets processed. And the $2,500 one just.
Oh my goodness! I
I
would
was
still
hot.
be on their behind.
Well, I mean,
I say call them tomorrow, just because.
I can't argue like that. I'd be mad. I'd be mad. Huh?
Please hire me. Get me on the phone.
Oh, I am.
Because I'm all for paying what's due.
Yeah.
But you're not gonna play with me.
Well, I feel like I play with the IRS, and I feel like I took one for the game. You know what I mean?
That ain't proper karma. The game was the interest they charged you, not losing the check.
I'm just blessed I was able to cover it. Let's say it like that.
Yeah, positive vibes.
That's right, because I ain't trying to do it again. I really, I think that it's I really like you and Jermaine's conversation for you, Bobby Boucher, as people call him, But I really think it's important to get a grip on it because you might not have a partner. Right. You might not have someone you can call on, and you need to know these kind of at least basic informations about what to do. Let's talk record keeping if we can.
Ooh, yes.
What would you say to a family would be or let me ask this. At what point should a family decide if they're going to itemize and be like full on record keeping or if they're just going to do the regular and what should be a standard thing they go for in a family?
In a family, it depends on how that family's operating. Do we have 2 working spouses or 1 working spouse? Do we have a spouse that has all the benefits or do both of y'all have benefits? And that's what I mean with the work. Like, you got 401k? Do you got 4? Like, these are discussions that the family needs to have prior to tax time. How are we going to handle these things? And I say that because I do have family clients that are not communicating and they are like losing right now. But once you have it established, hey, babe, you're going to get the health insurance. I'll put 10% in the 401k because if we're a union, that's our money anyway.
Right.
And when you have that plan, now you know this spouse is going to have a lower taxable income and this one is paying for the health insurance. So now we need to talk about our income tax. Are you going to file, single and zero so they could just take it all? Or are you going to say you're married filing joint because they're going to take less? If so, on the back end, I'm going to maybe do single and zero so we could just have some leeway. Because if you overpay, you're going to get it back. If you underpay, you're going to have to pay. So I would rather one of the spouses do single and zero for that leeway just in case, let's say the wife goes and starts door dashing. That's going to change the whole tax situation because now you have self-employment income. And the self-employment tax rate is 4 or 2% on top of your regular tax rate.
Damn.
So it's a combination. And that's just the self-employment income. And that doesn't get certain deductions that regular income tax get. It gets charged right at the bottom of the 1040. So there's nothing to do to lower that but take away your refundable credits. So the IRS has 2 types of credits, refundable and non-refundable. The refundable credits are the ones that give you a refund, but the self-employment gets taxed right there. So I'll have those discussions. In regards to record keeping, keep all your tax forms. Keep them for 3 years. If you're doing any activities that require, like with the rideshare, keep up with your mileage. If you have a lot of medical travel, let's say you have a child that's sickly, you got to go to Atlanta, you got to go to Charlotte, you got to do a lot of medical travel, that's a deduction. Put away for the kids. Here in the state of Georgia, we have something called a 529 plan. I do $50 a month. It's a savings plan for college. That gives you a state tax credit. With the health insurance, hey babe, get the high deductible health plan. Yeah, the deductible's high, but we don't get sick like that. So I don't mind paying $43 a check opposed to $150 a check because we're not going to the doctor as often. And when you have a high deductible health plan, you then qualify for a health savings account. You can put money in a savings account for healthcare expenses pre-tax.
Yeah.
In the health savings account, if it's a family account, you could put well over $5,000 in there each year pre-tax.
I want to say there's a difference HSA and FS.
Correct. Flexible spending account and health savings account.
One of them's like a 401k. I know
that's
one of
HSA more than likely.
Yeah.
Because I want to say, and it depends on your employer, but some FSAs is use it or lose it.
Yeah, that's how Kimberly Clark was.
I hate that.
Yeah.
What you mean? Like use it or lose it. Dependent care accounts, I don't like those. The ones that go for child care, I don't like those either because some people put money in those accounts and then they don't send the kid to daycare. Well, now that money's taxable.
Well, I want to do it, but I don't like mine because I can plan out, I'm going to spend whatever this year in daycare. All right, and it can mop it out. But let's just say it changes at some point. I only can put it in once. And if I don't spend all the money, I don't get any of it back. It'll go back to zero. So I could lose $500. So
correct, and pay taxes on it.
Yeah, I'm not doing it.
That's a lose-lose. It's too much of a gamble. So I don't like those. I prefer HSAs. I prefer high deductible health plans. In the state of Georgia, you get a deduction on your state taxes for your premiums paid on a high deductible health plan. So I'm really big on that. Let's see, circling back to family. Record keeping, I would say get a little file folder or a tiny little file cabinet and separate your stuff. The kids' expenses, the partner expenses, maybe the medical expenses. Just keep up with everything throughout the year and check in quarterly, or monthly. However, it depends on how active y'all are. If y'all just regular job and not really doing much, you don't really have to do much but check in at the end of December. But if you got self-employed with a podcaster, new baby, I take care of grandma, I got Bitcoin, I'm selling Bitcoin, I got stocks, all of these things are things you got to keep up with. And you got to know what you're doing with your money because when those forms come, you got to answer at tax time. And if you don't know what you're doing, you can end up overpaying or underpaying or forgetting, and they're going to penalize you for it.
Yeah. So. Now, is it, my pop always told me if I'm questioning if I don't make money in taxes to start paying them early. So I pay myself out of my check to make sure I get a return because I know sometimes for a lot of years I didn't get none. So I might pay $100 or whatever. I ain't telling folks what I'm paying, but
right. I would rather just take it up front and then we could discuss at tax time if you owe me something. And sometimes I'll file my taxes late so I get a little interest. That's just something I do. I'm a parent, unmarried, so I'm head of household. I still do single and zero.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. But I'm head of household here for the kids, right?
Are you married?
Nope.
Head of household. Well, you got qualified independence. Yeah, you're head of household.
Yeah. Now, let me ask you this: when the drug dealers gonna get caught on Cash App? Because they got to record.
They are.
Shit.
That's why they stuff getting closed down.
They got to be recording it.
Now, when it comes to the drug dealers, the crazy thing is the income you earn from doing illegal activities is still taxable. If you look back on a lot of the folks who caught charges back in the day, tax evasion is one of the charges. They want they cut. You ain't supposed to do it. They want they cut. And the crazy thing is you can only deduct as much as the income. So you can't even take a loss as a drug dealer. You're not about to get a refund for selling drugs, but I still want to cut.
Yeah.
So as far as in the Cash App thing, they're catching up, especially if they're using a personal Cash App. That's where you see people randomly say, hey, my Cash App got shut down. I know what you're doing.
Yeah.
I ain't going to say that. I take that back. That's rewinded. I don't know what you're doing because sometimes folks' Cash App get shut down because they just have a lot of transactions coming. But the reason is because you're using a personal account for business. So doing business through Cash App on a personal account is immediate. They're going to catch it. That's the paper trail. Why is somebody sending you $25 8 times a day? I don't know the prices, but...
You're taking out $2,000 all at once.
I'm just saying. So, I'm not rooting for anybody to get caught, but, if you're selling drugs, maybe not doing it digitally.
I know it's been a long time. People have been trying to say it. I ain't going to worry about nothing. They ain't gonna, all right.
That's what they thought.
Yeah. Then patterns add up. The IRS does not play.
Right. And the same tools we have, they got better.
Yeah.
So, we all excited over ChatGPT and Claude. What you think they got?
Speaking of ChatGPT and AI.
Yeah.
How how accurate or useful do you think it is for someone to just research information? Because a lot of people are using AI for a lot of different ranges, and is it it won't let us use financial advice anymore. I know that, but for tax advice is pretty accurate.
To an extent, what I've learned is AI lies too.
It does.
They will make the cookie fit the cutter. Like, there's been times where I'm currently enrolled in school. There's been times I tried to use it for school and I got the question wrong. And I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, that law don't exist. Like, it'll give you a fake URL because I'll say cite the source.
Yeah.
And then I click the link and it don't exist. Like, they will make it fit because its goal is to please you. So if it knows you're trying to get an answer, it's like, I really don't know, but I'm just going to make it sound good. So when it comes to AI, I like the idea of AI condensing large data. If I throw a spreadsheet in there with thousands of lines of transactions, just totalize it for me in whatever month range. I'm cool with that. As far as in it giving tax advice, no, but I don't mind it breaking down a tax code. So the way I would use it is, explain publication 21 as if I was in third grade and go from there. Let AI feed you the tools. Like, let AI give you the formula to figure it out on your own. Yeah. Because the more we depend on it, the dumber we're going to get. And at what point do you want to be that dumb?
It's crazy.
As an American, we're already ranked wherever we're at. Why do you want to? Are you that lazy?
I don't know. It is helpful. I can't help it.
It's very helpful.
I'm a smart dude, but at the same time, I don't know a lot. Like, I say my range isn't vast, even though I have what I like. You know, I know what I know. But I use it, but I don't trust it. Like, even when I researched about taxes, just to like get kind of conversation stuff I wanted to build with you today, I'm not looking at it.
Yeah, because you asked about record keeping, I'm like,
For me,
should have brought my little booklet.
Well, for me, that's so a lot of this is just like I'm making sure like my conversations, like ways to plan ahead, record keeping, like the car thing and stuff like that. When it comes to business owners, it's all just relative. I'm trying to just make sure I'm in that realm of something because I don't want to be sound stupid and be like, hey,
you're doing great.
Claim some pickles, you know?
Hey, are you selling pickles?
Yeah, I think it's just, it's important. And I know that I am very flawed when it comes to record keeping, and I'm very flawed when it comes to doing things on time. And I know you and Maine talked about getting notifications. You always talking about you can get notified and how you can get informed and be ahead of the tax season and having stuff ready.
Yeah.
And to me, that was the fruitful information because like I'm on my own. I got to make sure I'm ahead of the game, or I'm a forgetful individual. So
you're winging this on your own? You don't have somebody to help you?
No, we split. It's over. It's done. The deuces and we're on the rolls.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I mean, it's life.
It is.
And I know that I'm grateful that I got through the IRS situation, but I don't want to wind up there again.
Correct.
So
yeah,
record keeping is important.
Very much so. And with the record keeping, that's where you may look into bookkeeping.
Yeah.
That's the easiest way to perform record keeping. I mean, all bookkeeping is keeping up your books. And books is, the way the money moves. So
yeah.
You can even use like QuickBooks or something like that to help keep up with things. And then as you're using it, time can pass and where you can run reports like, show me my cash flow, show me my profit loss. So right then and there, you can see, I need to cut back somewhere. All right, run my expense reports. I'm spending too much here. Let me cut it back. Just off the strength of you fed it that information throughout the year. So I'm big on record keeping as well. I prefer people do it. Sadly, a low percentage of my clients do it, but I'm working on getting them better. So when someone becomes my client, I'll take whatever you give me and we'll work with it. If you wrote it down on a piece of paper, if you send me your Cash App transactions, it's going to take some time, but I'm going to take it because this is what you got. But we're going to have a conversation before you leave this office. All right, now, you're going to keep doing this business? Get it together. I got the software to do bookkeeping. If you don't want to pay me to do it, then you do it. But don't bring me this back next year.
Yeah.
And sometimes they bring it back next year. I charge them an extra fee.
Still
now you playing. Because, I mean, I'm going to tell you, but they're going to do what they want to do. And a lot of folks are kind of winging business, and they're not solidifying their foundation. And it's not a bad thing because, I mean, if you're just jumping into it, you got an LLC, you're excited, you watch a few TikToks, you think you got it all. But when it comes to this admin stuff, it's so much more than just accepting the money and paying the invoice.
Yeah.
You got to be intentional with the way you're moving. You got to be intentional how you're spending and intentional how you earning.
Yeah.
I mean, because if you're just doing this just for fun, then it's a hobby. It's not a business, and that's okay. It's okay to have a hobby, but if your intent is to be a business, then your intent needs to be to make some money. I'm speaking to you.
Oh, I am. I hear you.
You got it.
I'm gonna get money. I'm on the production side. That's my goal because I think that this can be a fun way to connect and give back.
It is
what I'm doing, and not just here in the studio, but I really want to get involved in doing stuff out downtown. I really want to get some cops to race people. I really want to do some events where I can get some money gathered
run
for
that
charity.
Again, like physical run.
Yeah, catch me, motherfucker. Yeah, come on, let's see what you got, big dog.
You gonna tie one of their legs up?
No,
I
hell
think you
no.
should tie the cops together.
I go May Park.
Have you seen the newest recruits?
I don't give a damn. I'll climb
gonna
a
have them
fence.
running?
I'll climb up a tree. Come catch me. I figured do like a time limit, like make it reasonable. Where obviously we don't want somebody huge, some cop that's skinny as hell is gonna catch him real quick. But people that can run, cops that can run, let's go. If you feel like you can beat them.
Yeah, and that's good. And think about this. There's a lot of nonprofits who have like run teams.
Yep.
Like I'm on the run team for my job, though I don't run, but I am. And they do all these running events. So just that concept, come run with the cops or run from the cops, whatever.
Yeah.
Work with the sheriff, get in contact with a few of these nonprofits, find a few run team people, make it a whole thing.
Yeah.
Bim, bim, bow.
I be looking at the run teams down there. They be a bunch of moms and shit, but
Hey, man.
Hey, I don't be trying to do all that.
Talk about my people.
Yeah, they be out there where they be.
I be jogging.
I be struggling with my son. They be 2 kids deep on one woman. She got the double stroller, just trucking it.
I got some coworkers that just run for a living. I had one that got married on the thing. I'm like, boy, y'all live for this. I'm just here for the free shirt and the fun.
Yeah, little cheap trophy.
Get my trophy. I don't even want the trophy. I just wanted the shirt.
I got beat by a lady. I did a 5K and it ended in the SRP park, and I literally chased her down first base to home base at like Sandlot, like trying to just get beat by a lady in a stroller and a baby.
That's cute.
I just left. I didn't even stay.
So cute.
I just left. Yeah. So what would you say is one of your biggest aggravations doing taxes?
Biggest aggravation. Right now, it's communication. As the tax season progresses, a lot of folks don't consider what I have on my plate. So I may not respond that quickly. And they want me to immediately give a response. I don't have that bandwidth anymore. I service over 300 people.
Damn.
I have, this is my business, my passion, my baby. But I also have another baby, which is the dogs. I'm actually in business for breeding. Along with that, I am a VP of a nonprofit organization that's newly formed. And on top of that, I work 40 plus hours for a company. So
Good for you.
I work myself to death, but honestly, I'm a workaholic. It is what it is. But when I say all that, I don't say it to give an excuse. I say it's charge it to my bandwidth, not my heart. I'm not purposely ignoring you. There are folks who are taking offense to me not responding. And all I can say is, I'm sorry. You're right. I didn't respond in a week, or I didn't respond in 4 days, or I didn't follow up. And then I get attitude sometimes. And I'm a healed woman, but there's only so much I can take. Yeah. I can't take disrespect constantly. So I get that. And it's always the younger ones. I love them to death. They don't know how to talk to people. So I would say that is my biggest irritation. And I'm starting to see a lot of bad business practices that are trickling down on the employees. You should not have somebody in place doing payroll that don't know how to do payroll. As in, I'm looking at this W-2 like, this is wrong. But who am I to say it's wrong? Because I don't work for this company.
Yeah.
But me knowing payroll, I'm telling you, this is wrong. They don't care. There's no checks and balances happening. And folks are being put in weird positions. And some of the things that are happening are literally illegal. Company not giving you your W-2 by the 31st of January, that's illegal. Somebody not giving you your 1099, that's illegal. Somebody filing a false 1099 on you just so they can get a deduction, that's illegal. Somebody taking your kids and claiming your kids and you had no knowledge. It's just, I see a lot of folks getting screwed over, and for me, it hurts. Because I'm like, this is their livelihood is being affected. and it irritates me to my core. So communication and bad practices with employees are my biggest pet peeves during the tax season.
So if you got, well, I mean, how do I ask this? There are aggravations. Mm-hmm. I got 300 people. I'm sure it's plenty of profit there, not to like the positive side. But when it comes to, have you seen any outrageous things that have been like shocking in the tax realm? Like, I don't know, maybe a business you had to do taxes for, or I'm thinking like, I don't know, how a stripper does taxes or something. I'm thinking crazy, like.
Yes, the OnlyFans models, I love them, but they need more deductions. They are my highest ticket as far as in they owe the highest balances because, I mean, I ain't gonna go into detail, but I guess there's not much uniform to write off.
Nope.
You got a camera and a subscription cost, and then that's it. That's all straight gross net.
Yeah.
So it's like their tax rate is high, and they done already blew through a lot of money. So when I'm like, okay, you owe $19,000. They're like, what do you mean?
You tell, excuse my French, they done fucked all year, and they getting fucked at the end of the year in taxes.
I'm telling you, they should have been more protected. Now it's coming back to bite you.
Man, I heard that, I think it was Florida. Florida done a huge tax on OnlyFans or something like that, or
more than likely, I don't know, but Florida doesn't have state taxes, so I don't know.
Maybe it was a different state. I just heard something about there was a.
I said, I'm gonna check it now. Florida ain't got no state income taxes.
Why don't other states do that more?
Great question. So it's because they're getting money somewhere else. They don't need to. The option of taxing your citizens is based on the government. But let's say you're in, for example, Florida, tourists, the wildlife, they have other things that are giving them so much revenue. They can just say, no, we don't need it. Tennessee, I think it's whiskey or it's lumber. They don't have it. I want to say Washington State. I want to say it's lumber or syrup. It's like certain states that are just so good in their economy. They're doing so well in other factors, they don't have to tax their citizens. So the option of income tax is based on the state, but a lot of states kind of need it. For example, South Carolina. I can't stand South Carolina.
Why?
They're broke, and they're doing broke people things. South Carolina, let's circle back to what's aggravating me. The guys who work at these plants in South Carolina but reside in the state of Georgia and South Carolina is telling them that they owe them money, and they don't.
Every year.
And because these guys are not filing their taxes, they're paying South Carolina, and they're not South Carolina residents. If you don't file your tax return, that entity has the option to just create a return based off what they got. So remember when I said they got a copy of your forms?
They still know. They
know what you made, but they don't know what else you did, but they don't care because you didn't file. Now I'm going to file for you. And I ain't going to give you no deductions.
They only need that base.
And now you owe me $4,000 because you made 70 at Bridgestone.
Yep.
But I'm a Georgia resident. You should have filed your taxes. They're pissing me off. And they're aggressive with it. South Carolina will go in your account and take it.
Yep.
I never.
That's why I went ahead and got on mine.
I know. I mean, that South Carolina is crazy. And I'm not going to keep saying it because I don't want them to come after me, but I'm on their radar. They're pissing me off.
Is there any... Cash is going to be gone.
Okay.
Is there any benefit to still, like, trying to do cash favors to, like, stay under the radar? Not, like, speaking of drug dealers, but just, bartering, trading, doing, side businesses, not trying to claim, like waitresses. I'll use an example. They don't claim all their tips. I'm sorry. I know I didn't, but cash is going to be gone. It's going to be harder to kind of be honest or get that return without having to have the IRS involved.
Right. When it comes to cash, it's really dependent on what you report. You are correct. You have the option to report X, Y, and Z, but it circles back to what are your plans. So, for example, let's say this waitress wants to buy a house. Well, you got to prove your income. If your W-2 said you made $21,000, you're not getting a house. So maybe you need to start claiming your cash tips to show that your AGI is high enough to get a house. Let's say you have a business owner that wants to get funding or a loan. Well, if you're taking a loss every year, I'm not investing in you.
Right.
So when it comes to picking and choosing what you claim, you got to consider what you have planned, because the decisions you make In 2025, it's affecting 2026 and going forward. We all have tried to get lending. What do they ask for? Proof of et cetera. We want a copy of your tax return, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's because there's a risk of investing in you. And if you're not reporting what you make, then you look risky. And that's that. So when it comes to cash, it's ultimately your choice. We all know what the law is. You're supposed to report it all. If you made over $200, you're supposed to report it. But what you do with it is on you. You just have to deal with the consequences that come after. If somebody reports you for not claiming your cash, you may have a PI watching you somewhere. I mean, this is an extreme scenario, but it can happen.
They will come after you.
Correct. Now they're going to come after you. Or if you want a house, or if you want a car, if you got to prove income to live in a high level area, like certain rental places want to see your W-2s and stuff, it's all on you.
Yeah. Now, if you do, like, I know sometimes I don't keep track of my income that's doing the business because some of it is cash. Do just invoice and keep my invoice. That's the best way to keep track of records.
Invoicing
claiming.
Or receipt books. You get a little receipt book from Walmart.
I thought that was the same thing.
Nah. I mean, you could call it that, but I separate it. An invoice to me is a statement saying you owe me this, whereas a receipt is a statement saying you paid me this.
Okay, gotcha.
So it also circles back to the type of accounting you got going on. So when you're a business owner, you have the choice to be accrual or cash accounting. The difference is accrual means you claim your revenue when it's billed, when the work is done. Cash, you claim it when it's paid. So you as a podcaster, let's say you get paid $100 per interview, but let's say I don't pay you at the end of the interview. If you were accrual, you earned $100 for this interview. If you were cash, you earned $0 until I pay you.
Right.
So it depends on how you balance it out. So an invoice in your books would be revenue, but a receipt is revenue for your cash books.
I got you.
And it's one or the other. You can't switch it up. You can't choose this 1 year and this 1 year. Whatever you choose when you format is what it is until you apply to change your accounting method.
Okay. So invoice I can give up front without getting paid.
Correct.
And
it's
that's
basically it's like when you go to the doctor and you get a bill.
Right.
It's a bill.
Okay.
In a receipt, you give that after they paid.
I'm trying to format. I'm trying to listen. I'm trying to learn a little bit.
Got it.
What do you think are some of the crazy tax laws that we should maybe adjust, or that you as a tax service,
professional, yeah.
tax professional, see on the regular that you think is kind of crazy, or that you think should be adjusted?
Adjusted tax laws. I feel that the capital gains adjustment, I wouldn't say it's the craziest, but I would like to see some adjustments to it. So with the capital gains tax, that is basically a tax you pay for the gain you earn on your capital. It's in the word.
Yeah.
But let's say you purchase a stock for $100 and you held on to that stock for 6 months and now it blew up to $500. So you're like, oh, I'm cashing that in. You take $500. You now have a gain of $400. Mm-hmm. And because you did it in less than a year, it adds to your ordinary income. Now, if you would have held on to that stock for over a year and then sold it and got a $400 gain, your tax rate would be considerably lower. I feel like with the capital gains, let's do it all around the board. Let's make it fair, because holding on and selling it within a year is no different than me holding on to it for an extra year, other than that company got to hold on to my money a little longer.
Yeah, you still are in the same boat, whether you profit or lose.
Right. So ordinary income tax more than likely is always higher than capital gains income tax. Capital gain tax, I want to say, caps at like 15%, whereas ordinary income tax can go up to 30, 40%.
Dang.
That's a big difference. It's the difference of what you're paying. So for me, I would look at changes with the capital gains tax rate. And then also there are instances where you got people who are really playing the tax system. This is one of my favorite scenarios, by the way. So let's say you have somebody who is retired. They're not really working like that, but he has a whole bunch of shares of Ford just sitting. This guy can liquidate, sell these shares of Ford, and receive a gain of $40,000 and pay zero tax on it because he held it long term. And because he's not working anywhere, his income is low to pay the zero capital gains tax rate. Then anything more he sells, I want to say goes like to 5%. And it caps at 15%. So this old millionaire can sell his stocks intermittently throughout the year and pay a lower tax rate than you and I because we're working.
Just because of how much he's taking out too.
That.
Dang.
Something else I would change. I don't want any corporation getting a large refund. I remember reading some years back that Netflix got a refund on their taxes because of how many free memberships they were giving.
Hold on now. I don't understand. Hold on. I ain't never heard this, and I ain't never heard no big corporation getting a refund like that. What sense does that make if people still got to pay?
Correct. It makes the sense of they're taking a loss by giving their service for free, but it's a strategy because now they ain't paying taxes and they're actually being refunded.
Damn.
Oh, it's a beautiful game.
The loopholes really aren't there for us until we get to like a higher level.
Correct. There isn't really any loopholes for low income. And I don't say that in a way of talking down on anybody. If you're under 75K, you're low income. So there are no loopholes for us. We get the benefits of the tax credits. Once you get over 75K, you don't get EIC. You may not even be able to deduct your student loan interest. You don't get the retirement savers credit. You're not getting any of the stuff they want you to do. You're in a whole nother ball game. So their strategy is a lot different than what someone's strategy would be under 75K a year.
Dang.
And
that's me.
They look at people under 75K as you getting enough.
Yeah. I was like, what? Paying $3,000 a year in insurance. What you talking about? Enough?
That's how they look at it. Whereas they over there capping out Social Security. Like, it's so many crazy ways the tax system is set up. Speaking
of a crazy system that got set up this year, I think it was this year, was Trump's little overtime shit.
Whew. So that went into effective 2025, but yes, this year. So let me explain that because that is not what he said it was, and I knew that was going to happen.
It's so confusing.
Correct, because it's smoke and mirrors. But we ain't going to get political because,
well, I think it's, for me, we had to get it explained at work. They had to explain it to us, and I just figured it'd be a good topic for us to talk about.
It is a good topic because a lot of folks were so excited. Oh, overtime is going to be free. No. Overtime is a deduction, and it's only the premium. So overtime is time and a half. It's your rate of pay. Let's say you're $10 an hour. If you're in overtime, you're getting paid $15 an hour because half of 10 is $5. Right. The overtime premium is $5. So the deduction that you get is only the premium portion, and it's a deduction. You're still getting taxed on your paycheck. You're still getting taxed in real time. It's just when you do your taxes, you have to claim this deduction for this premium on your Schedule 1.
Yeah, we had to do it.
Correct. Who knows how to do that? Not a lot of people. This Schedule 1 process is actually new. So it sounds good politically when they say, oh, free overtime. But it's not.
We thought we was going to be middle class.
I bet you did.
We all thought.
I saw a lot of blue-collar people celebrating like, this is what I'm talking about.
I'm about to buy a new car.
This is what I voted for. And I'm like, you idiot.
I ain't voting for shit, but I was excited.
You idiot. And then the thing with tips. I like the tips. So you get to deduct up to $10,000 in tips. That has helped so many of my clients. I'm going to give a description. I'm not going to say the client name, but I love her down. She does pet grooming. And with the grooming, she makes a substantial amount of tips. Like, say you work for a company, you charge at $50 to groom the pet, but, you know, these older people, they're tipping $50, $40 on top of that. All her tip income ended up being tax-free. So opposed to her receiving her typical refund of maybe $50, it was over $2,000 because her tip income was tax-free.
Dang.
And not tax-free as in it wasn't taxed on the front end, tax-free as in I get to take a $10,000 deduction to lower my AGI. So I like the tip. The overtime was a little but, you know, whatever. The car loan interest, I thought that was pretty interesting. So
explain that. I didn't catch that one.
It was all in the same bill.
All in the same thing.
Yes. So with the car loan interest, you get to deduct the interest paid on a new car, 2025 or newer, as long as it was manufactured in the United States. So it could be a foreign car, but the final process of the manufacturing has to happen on the homeland, and now you get to deduct that interest as a person not as a business. Because, of course, you have those deductions as a business owner, but as an individual, you telling me I could buy a car right now and I get to write off all the interest? I'm about to buy a car.
Yeah.
Well, I'm buying one next year, but I'm about to buy a car. But it got to be 2025 or newer, has to be brand new, and it has to be manufactured in the United States. So if anybody's purchasing a car, those are the questions you need to ask the dealer. Did y'all do the final pieces of manufacturing in the U.S.? If not, show me the ones that you did. You ain't got none, I'm leaving. Because I want that tax deduction.
Yeah, and if you work, I guess they're Fortune 500 companies. I don't know if I'm right here, but most big companies have car discounts as well. If you don't know, if you work for a big company, check out your benefits.
Mine do.
Yeah, sometimes I know that the railroad I work for, anything that is GM, Ford, actual American, or what we are here. Yeah, they're all like. They get like 10% or something like that, or some crazy number.
Yeah, it's the initiative to bump up the American economy. Yeah. They're trying to push America first, and I get what they're doing. I just need America's quality to follow.
I just needed that overtime not to be taxed. That would have been
a little deduction.
Nothing. They showed up. We said me and my buddies got our paperwork back, and we was looking at it. We was looking because we was
ain't nothing changed, huh?
Man, we said $1,000.
Yep.
$1,000. All this overtime we work.
Not on the front end, it's on the back end, and you have to claim it. So picture the people who don't claim it. They just taking that loss.
Yep.
And that's what the government, I ain't gonna say that's what they want, but I low-key feel like that's what they want. They want you to fall between the cracks. They want you to not know. They want you, because it benefits them.
Yeah.
So.
We definitely holding it up. Damn. What else you want to talk about before we wrap? I could keep talking with you, but.
I mean, I could talk about taxes all day. Anything dealing with taxes, payroll. I'm in HR field too, so HR and benefits. Anything dealing with Shih Tzus, I know.
Shih Tzus.
Yeah, those are my puppies of choice.
And now you sell these pups too?
Oh yeah, I'm a breeder.
So what does one go for a pup?
Start at $2,000.
$2,000?
$2,000.
Dang. Now,
they're purebred, AKC, all of that.
Now, I know that gets into a big realm, the dogs, the Yorkies, right? Then the other expensive ones, though, right? They get the spots and the blue. The Shih Tzu, do they have other color, they get exotic color patterns as well, or?
Yes, in a sense. Not more of the marrow color. Most of them are like, white base with brown spots, black spots. It depends on if you have like a liver or a regular Shih Tzu. Do you have an imperial? I have a good bit of livers. So those are the Shih Tzus with like the light brown. So basically what the liver trait is the absence of black. So my livers have no black pigment anywhere. They have the light brown nose, the hazel eyes or green eyes, and a light colored coat. Then I have my regular Shih Tzus who have the black nose, the black lips, the black eyes, and maybe black and white spots. Some people have a preference. I've come across people who look at my livers and are like, they look too human. And then you have the ones who's like, I want the old school Shih Tzu with the black nose. And then you have some that really just want the livers. So it's all based on, For me, the most rare is I call them the chocolates. They're like dark brown and light brown. Those are my most popular, and I love them now because they actually have a coat that almost resembles how the Yorkies look. And I think maybe that's what people like. But those are my favorite, is the chocolates.
So doing something like that has its own challenges with taxes, I'm sure.
Yes, I actually, did a lot of research on it. So this is for any breeders. If you purchase a dog, you may depreciate it. If you birth a dog in your program, you may not. So what I mean by that is if I go out and purchase a Shih Tzu from another breeder, I can now take a deduction each year for the cost of that dog because it's in my business. But if I birth a Shih Tzu and take one in the litter and decide to keep it, I'm not deducting the value of my dog.
Right.
It's just mine. I produced it.
You're just passing it down.
Correct. So that was a little different thing I learned. I didn't even know I could depreciate a living thing. So I was like, oh, this is fun.
Crazy.
I'm about to go shopping. But yeah, the Shih Tzu world is different. And I speak on it now because I have a litter due next week.
How long are you going to do this for?
I have no clue. I mean, I love it there.
How long have you been doing it for currently?
Since 2020, when the pandemic
6
happened.
years? So the pandemic, and you're just like, we're going to breed dogs.
No, I got a dog. I got Milo, and I was supposed to share him with my granny. And then the pandemic happened, and she recovered from lung cancer. So I didn't want to move in with her because I still had school-age kids. So I was like, Granny, we're going to find you a dog because, I got Milo here. We can't come home. I call it home, but we both had separate houses. And she ended up getting another dog. That was my Remy Rim Rim. I love him so much. Granny passed away. So before she left, she was like, I need you to take Remy. And I took Remy. Now I have 2 boys. And they were just doing the most. And I'm like, well, let's get a girl. So I reached out to the breeder I got Milo from, and I bought Pretty Paws. And
oh, that's a cool name, Pretty Paws.
she prances like a show horse. She's so pretty. And sometimes we call her Meredith Grey because she looks like Meredith Grey. But she just is so pretty and passive and sweet. I love girl dogs. But I purchased Pretty Paws literally for the intent of breeding. And the breeder knew that when I purchased her. So I got full rights to her, full rights to Milo. And that's when I learned about the paperwork, etc. And the reason why I started breeding is because I couldn't find a Shih Tzu here. I had to go all the way to Florida.
Dang.
Yeah, I was looking for a Shih Tzu from like 2017. I didn't get one till 2020.
Dang.
Yeah, and nobody had one. So I'm like, well, shoot, why don't I become the Shih Tzu person?
Hey,
so,
supply and demand.
yeah, and I knew that if my granny was still here, that she would have loved it. Like, she loved Shih Tzu. We grew up with one. She had Kizzy and Toby growing up. So it was more so in her memory.
Like
I kept it
Kizzy.
going.
That's a cool name.
Yes, I loved it. She was mean, but I loved her. But I kept it going in her image, honestly. It was just like, well, I'm going to just keep it going. But as I kept doing it, it kind of healed me a little bit. Like, I'm real big on, like, kids and babies. And when you have puppies, they're, like, forever babies.
That's what they are.
Yes, and I had lost my
Forever.
son in 21, so I was like, these are my babies now.
My condolences.
Oh, it's fine. Well, thank you. I'm not going to say it's fine. Thank you.
Yeah. I got a 90-pound baby in there. There's a blue-nosed pit.
Oh, I love pits. They're so sweet. I don't want to clean up after them, but I love them.
He's not bad. He sheds a little bit, but if I had that door open, he'd be right here at my feet.
That's how my babies are. They're at peace when they're just laying with you, and
I don't get no
I love
peace.
it.
I get home, and it's like he wants to knock me over. He's like
That's
a cat.
It's
He's a
just
cat.
love. It's just love.
I just need a little space before I sit down.
I understand. That's how my boy dogs are. My girls, they like to be in the room with me, but my boys want to be in my face. Like, I'm like, just get a little flu first.
I do want to ask you one more thing about tax deductions.
Go ahead.
I spend a lot of money on home renovations.
Mm-hmm.
I know that is something I can add to my value and stuff like that, but am I able to do that to my house, deduct these types of expenses?
Your home, as in where you live?
Yeah.
No. It adds to your value or your cost basis. And that's a good thing because let's say you sell this house and you sell it at a gain. Well, your cost basis is now increased, so you're paying tax on the lower amount of the gain. So I'm just throw some numbers, easy number. You bought your house for $100,000, but you put $25,000 worth of work on it. Now your house is ideally worth $125,000 based on your cost basis. That's your cost basis. Well, let's say you get it appraised and your house is worth $200,000 when it gets appraised. So you sell it for $200,000. Well, now you have a $75,000 gain. In an imperfect world, you'll be paying taxes on that gain. But let's say you lived in this house for more than 2 years of the last 5 years. There is an exclusion called the sale of main home exclusion where you can exclude claiming taxes on like up to $250,000. So actually you won't have to pay any taxes at all, but that's on the low end. Let's say you have a $500,000 house and now it's worth $1 million. That's where those cost basis items matter because you want to pay the least amount of taxes. If you put improvements into the home to increase the value of the home, ideally your cost basis went up. You put money into it. That is your cost. Okay. And then you pay taxes on the gain.
Okay, now you say I'm gonna use I sold my first house, took the money to buy this house. Mm-hmm. I didn't have to pay taxes on it because I used it, from what I understood. Right?
No.
What is that where you can? I don't know.
You didn't pay taxes on it. Okay, when you sold the first house, how long were you living there?
I lived like 10-some years.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you qualify for the exclusion. So you didn't pay taxes because you qualify for the exclusion, not because you bought another house.
Yeah.
So let's say the same scenario, but this house you were only living in it for a year. You would have had to pay taxes.
I'd have to pay off that profit.
Yes.
Okay, I got you.
Yes.
I know I didn't, and I know I was able to just take the full chunk from that check and put it on this, and I was like, I didn't pay nothing. I'm just,
yes.
Right, that's what it is.
It's because you took the sell of main home exclusion. Yeah. And the exclusion doesn't happen when the real estate transaction happens. It happens on your taxes. But ideally, because you did qualify, nobody probably sent you anything because it was like, well, we could tell he's been there for 10 years and now he's here. He probably qualifies. But the transaction happened when you do your taxes, not when you sell the home. And now if it was a rental house, that's why I asked, was this a personal home or a rental home? If it was a rental home, it's a little different.
Yeah, I try not to do my paperwork right.
It's all about the records, right?
Yeah, it's all about them records. You know what I'm saying?
And you should have a file for your house improvements too. I'm big on
yeah, I got my receipts. I keep my receipts because you never know what you're going to break and what tool you're going to mess up.
Correct. And I learned something new. TikTok, love it. They said get a phone or camera and walk around your house and record every single thing and talk about everything. So if a natural disaster ever happens, you can prove the value of everything you lost. Correct.
That's a smart insurance save right there.
Exactly. Because remember when Allene hit?
Yeah.
My insurance had the nerve to ask me for a picture of the refrigerator.
Yeah.
Sir, we are in survival mode. I threw that mess out.
Dang.
Well, how much did you spend on it? I don't know. There's stuff in there from 3 months ago. But in hindsight, if you were to have a total loss, if this whole house was to get picked up and carried off, how do you prove the value of every single thing?
Yeah, you can't really unless you got record.
Correct.
Record keeping. See, that was a good
point. And if everything is gone, that video is still there. Yeah. All right, this lamp, you could Google it and tell it was worth $30. This, you could tell it was worth $40, and et cetera.
Yeah.
So, little tip I recently
That
learned.
was a crazy experience, though, that came through here.
Oh, Allene?
Yeah, how was that experience on you with being the advisor and tax situation? I'm sure it had an effect on a lot.
From a tax standpoint, it didn't affect me in that moment. It affected me as a parent. So, the moment Allene came, that morning, I woke up and the house was dead silent, and that woke me up. My fan was off. And I flicked the light, and the lights were out. And I heard the wind. I went out. I seen my trees bending, and I immediately filled up the bathtub. Immediately. I was
on the bathtub for what?
Water.
Why? Oh, just in case you need water.
Correct. Because I got 2 kids and 5 dogs.
I'm like, you got to take a bath.
And Pretty Paws had a litter. So guess what? I had 4 brand new puppies when Allene hit. Oh, that was so stressful. So I filled up the bathtub with water, and I immediately woke the kids up and put them in my room because I didn't know where the trees were going. I had 3 big pine trees. We had no water for about 9 days, no power for 11, and we didn't get internet until the end of October. It was horrible. It was really
Augusta
hot.
took it tough.
It did, and my kids were crying. They didn't have no internet. I'm stressed. I'm just a girl. Things were falling over. My phone was dying. It was 80, 100 degrees. And I'm just sitting here I didn't know really what more to do other than to keep things afloat. So I had to just roll with the punches. Luckily, we had gas. My big brother came once, maybe on day 3. Once he got his household together, he came and he was like, hey, you can come to my house, pack the dogs up. And when I packed the dogs up, he wanted to put them outside.
You wasn't having that.
No. He was so mad at me.
I see it in your face.
Oh, I was mad because Pretty Paws had a fresh litter. So I was like, all right, my mom's in Goshen. So I took Pretty Paws and the baby to my mom. Luckily, the job I had, I guess I'm so freaking valuable. They were like, hey, we'll set you up at Alpharetta. Alpharetta didn't get hit. I'm like, so I could come to work. But that's what they did. So they got me a hotel at Alpharetta. That next week after Allene, by Friday, I left. I packed my kids up and 3 dogs. I left the others at my mom's because Pretty had a fresh litter. And we drove to Alpharetta. You remember the chemical plant that was on fire?
Yeah.
So let me tell you a funny story. Milo's been here before, by the way. That's my dog. We ride down the highway. I have bad driver's anxiety, so I was really nervous with the Atlanta traffic. We see the smoke from the thing. Milo rolls down the window.
Right.
And I have asthma.
Investigating.
Literally. Rolls down the window, triggers my asthma as I'm going 80 miles per hour on whatever that highway is, and my daughter cracking jokes talking about, oh, now you about to turn into a walker. Because, the thing was we were turning into zombies. To this day, he pissed me off so bad because I was swerving, coughing, trying to find a way to breathe. And, yeah. But we made it to Alpharetta. I got the family set up. And 2 days later, my neighbor calls and it's like, we got water. I didn't want to tell her I was at Alpharetta. I was like, all right.
I'll be back,
yeah. So we came back Sunday, and the power was back, the water was back, and I just picked up the pieces, started cleaning stuff up. I didn't take really no hits on the business side, but on the personal home side I did. And it helped me during tax time Because guess what? Disaster assistance.
Yeah.
I get to take a casualty and loss disaster because I had damages to the home, the yard. I did get an insurance check, but it didn't cover everything, and the value of my home dropped a little bit. So I was able to take a huge deduction on my Schedule A due to my losses, and a lot of my clients did as well. So when it comes to filing 2024, I always ask, did you have any damages to Hurricane Helene? Let's look at it. Do you have your insurance paperwork from whoever? Let's look at it. And immediately they get to talking like, they didn't pay this, they didn't pay that. That's fine, because we about to claim that.
Yeah.
It's very rare that there's a situation where we could take this type of deduction. I'm going to maximize on it. There's a state credit that's available for disasters. So if you got money from FEMA, Georgia was matching it up to $500.
I remember we got money for the food loss. I think that's what South Carolina gave. I think we got, or I think the area got it or something. I remember we got money back for the food though.
Yep. I don't know if South Carolina had a disaster credit. I'm gonna have to check and see because I didn't have
Nothing happened here.
Oh, y'all didn't?
I mean, it did,
God
but not here at this house. No. I actually got a better view from Helene where I'm at.
Yeah, because you're kind of elevated out here.
Yeah,
so
but
you got to
there
watch
was trees.
all the carnage that we went through.
I actually, I heard transformers popping about 3:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
And I got up and was trying to get coffee because I was like, oh, we're about to have a storm. Figured, dog's gonna freak out. Might as well stay up. No power. So I was like, well, fuck it. I'm gonna go to Dunkin' downtown, and I believe I was in a tornado.
I think we did get
When you go all the way, you go over 13th Street Bridge. You go over the bridge with the lions. That goes. Takes you over to the hospital district underneath Washington Road. I guess it's still Washington Road.
Yeah.
The highway or whatever. Yeah, I was under that bridge, and I stopped right there. And you couldn't you couldn't see the road. All you saw was branches and everything. All green leaves covered the pavement. It was retarded.
See, being in it.
Nothing was open. Nothing was open.
Of course.
I had to make my way back.
Of course.
No, I do know that it was a big thing for a lot of people with claims and insurance and tax time deductions and so forth. It's the craziest thing I ever saw, craziest thing I ever considered and listened to other conversations about the disaster and how it affected them financially and all this stuff going forward in tax time. I don't know. I really appreciate you talking with me today, for real.
Well, thank you for having me.
No, it's a blessing. It really is. Because, I got some useful information for myself. Hopefully this conversation will still give and shed some light to new business owners coming in.
So, and if not, we could schedule time to talk.
Absolutely. Y'all reach out to
I know this stuff, man.
And I'm going to put, throughout the episode, I'm going to have your social medias and your email. Is that okay? I have all at the bottom.
Yes.
Y'all definitely reach out to her and get yourself together. Get a plan in place. Make sure you are ready for next year's tax time.
Literally take some time each month, just go over your books. And also we're hosting a banquet this summer.
Okay.
On the 6th. It's very limited space, but we are hosting a celebration banquet because this is actually year 10 for me.
Okay.
So we are celebrating.
I'm gonna clap it up for you again.
Consistency.
Now you got a flyer for all that and everything?
The flyer's getting ready to get dropped. I'll send it to you in a message.
All right, absolutely. I'll put it in.
Y'all make sure y'all book with TT. She's doing my flyer. Amazing work, amazing turnaround. I love it already. So I'll be posting the flyer soon. We're going to have live talent, open bar, food, dinner, prizes. I want this to be a celebration. I want folks to sit down, look good, eat, drink, and enjoy themselves. You should not have to pull your money out for nothing that night. Yeah. Unless you want to tip me. I'm fronting the bill. But outside of that, eat, drink, party. We're celebrating.
Yeah.
June 6th.
Hey, well, I'll try to be there myself. Shoot.
I already invited you once, and I ain't going to say it no more.
Hey, I'll come.
All right.
Hey, till next time, y'all tune in. Peace. Thank you, ma'am.
Oh, my goodness.